So Oklahoma hands this unbelievable program to this guy that we knew he was this snazzy offensive guy, Lincoln Riley, and he's just hit it out of the park with on-field stuff, recruiting off-field stuff, and he joins us now via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. So let's start with the uncomfortable topic, which is unprecedented times. We've got a virus. It's now spiking. Where are we at today, Coach? Where are we at on returning, and what comfort level do you have right now with what we're dealing with and your players?
Well, we're learning, like everybody is, we're learning more and more each day. I think a comfort level that we've got a good plan for our players when they're back here with us, when they're in our facilities. Our concern from the beginning has been, this isn't a high school player that when they're done with your facility can go back to their home. This isn't a professional player that when they're done with your facility can go back to their own home. We house these players. A lot of them live with other players, friends, this or that. And so I think the bigger concern right now is what you do with them the other hours of the day. And so obviously the spike in cases over the last several weeks has been a concern for everybody. It certainly is for us as well. I think we're going to have to keep all options open and keep the safety and health of these guys the main thing.
You have, coaches sometimes get labels, and you're a little bit of the quarterback whisperer thing, whereas you get guys, and it doesn't take long, and they're really good. It doesn't matter if it's a walk-on, Baker. It doesn't matter if it's a baseball guy, Kyler. They go into your system. They're good really quickly. So when Cliff Kingsbury, they were talking about drafting Kyler Murray, they obviously called you. I thought Kyler was terrific last year. I find him fascinating as a player. I think I watched, I joked to Joy, I watched 14 Arizona Cardinal games. Nobody that doesn't live in Phoenix watched that many games. But when Cliff called you, what did you tell him to expect? What were the strengths? What were the weaknesses? How did that conversation go, if you could?
Yeah, we had good conversations. Cliff knew quite a bit about Kyler because he had recruited him a little bit, and then he had got to compete against him. And so I think on the field, it's pretty obvious. I think, you see the athletic ability. I think a lot of people that never saw him live did not understand the kind of thrower that this guy was, but he's an elite thrower. Our conversations were more based on, what he processes well, what he's like in the meeting room, what he's, demeanor in practices, some of the things that you can't always see on game day. And just as Cliff described what he was looking for, the organization was looking for, and I was able to describe, what I thought he could expect from Kyler. You could tell it was going to be a great match.
By the way, I'm watching some of those throws. God, he has just got he throws the tightest spiral I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible. It doesn't even look like other quarterbacks. Now, Baker comes in. I've had my issues with Baker, but I do think he has talent. So last year he got humbled a little bit. He found out the NFL, if you don't have protection, there's not a lot you can do in this league, right? Have you reached out to Baker in the last 6 months to a year? Because I think he's going to rebound this year. They figured out the tackle spots. I like their center, J.C. Treader. I did not like tackle. I think he's going to pop a little bit this year. Have you talked to him in the last 6 months?
Yeah, definitely. Now, we stay in constant contact and always will. I'm with you. If you look at this guy's history, anytime he's had a down game, any down stretch, any type of adversity, he's always bounced back in a positive way. That's just his nature. He's a fighter. He's a competitor. And I believe he will. I do believe there's a lot of parts around him, just the overall setup in Cleveland that they're improving, which, listen, I don't care where you're at. If you don't have the right scheme, the right players around you, the right setup, you can do all you want as a quarterback, and it's not going to matter. Now, Baker be the first to admit he knows there's a lot of things that he himself has to do better, things under his control. And in my talks with him, I think he's mentally in a great place. He's had a tremendous offseason, and I think he's going to come play well. Yeah,
I really like the Austin Hooper pickup. So he's got now two big volume-catching tight ends. If David Njoku can stay healthy, that's probably the best tight end tandem in the NFL, along with Brady's guys in Tampa. So I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb. So, Sooner fans think I hate the program, which I don't, because last week I said it's one of the 4 best programs ever. But I said CeeDee Lamb was a guy that I did see him play TCU. TCU had a very good corner, and CeeDee didn't. Now, he may have been dealing with an injury, but I didn't think in that game he popped. And that's kind of the matchup I watched him in, because that was 2 NFL guys. What are the Cowboys getting with CeeDee Lamb? What should I expect?
Well, first off, every program's fan base thinks that you hate them.
They do.
Second, yeah, that game in particular, we didn't end up throwing the ball much that night. Ended up being kind of a run-dominated night. So, CeeDee was dominant all year. I didn't really feel like there was a corner that we played that really did much against him, honestly. If there was ever any limitations, it was just where the ball fell that night. But now they're getting an explosive playmaker, a guy that can be a dynamic route runner. You obviously see some of the clips right now how good he is after the catch, a guy that continues to improve, even though, he's had some success early in his career. He let us, continue to coach him very, very hard. So now he's a dynamic player, man. He's one of those guys that any scheme you draw up, you don't really have to take him off the field. And that versatility, that explosion, you just don't find that combination very often.
It's amazing how many tackles he breaks. He just constantly it's amazing to watch him play. So when you look, when you develop quarterbacks certain ways, and you've taken a walk-on, you've taken the baseball guy, now you probably have the most acclaimed high school to Oklahoma, a kid who, Spencer Rattler, is the classic 5-star. Everybody in the country wanted him. This is your guy. This could be the guy for 3 years, 4 years plays. Highly acclaimed guy. Actually, some pressure on you, Lincoln, because he's so highly acclaimed. People expect greatness day one. Talk about him because he's a remarkable talent with potential.
I think one of the keys to our situation at quarterback over the years has always been competition. A lot of people forget that, Baker's first year here, he had to beat out Trevor Knight. And a couple others. That was a really heck of a battle that went down to the wire. Baker, even after having a great first couple of years, had to beat Kyler out because Kyler came in and really did some nice things, and that was always a fun competition to watch those two go at it. Jalen Hurts had to come in here and beat a couple of guys out, and so we've always had competition, regardless of where these guys have come from, whether they've been highly recruited. A primetime player at another school, whatever it is, they've always had to come in here and win the job. And so no different for Spencer Rattler or Tanner Mordecai right now. We'll let those guys go at it. They're both very talented. Didn't feel the need to bring in any other additions to that room. Felt like those two guys, along with Chandler Morris, give us all the talent and all we need to be a championship level team. So it'll be fun to do it with some new young guys. We actually have a chance to have a starter for more than 1 year in a row. This will be fourth year in a row of a different guy. So looking forward to having some continuity finally.
You're like John Calipari at Kentucky. He doesn't even have a senior night anymore. He just, who's the new guy I'm dealing with this week? Lincoln Riley, you're a credit to coaching. Just all you do is win at Oklahoma. We see your gorgeous facilities behind you. I don't hate the Sooners. That's why I keep bringing their coach on and talking about their players. Lincoln, thank you so much, and good luck to you.
All right, thanks, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.